Hey, what's up, guys? Coming at you with another video here for Manny Pacquiao versus Keith One Time Thurman post-fight analysis after watching it again a couple times. And I seen it basically the exact same way I saw it the first time. And I still think it's wrong for people to say Pacquiao dominated. Again, I keep hearing it over and over on SportsCenter, on all these places, saying he dominated. He definitely did not dominate the whole fight. He dominated the first 6 rounds, maybe 5 rounds of the beginning, and he got a knockdown, and that's basically how he won. He got a win in the later rounds, which in my opinion was his only win in the later rounds. In round 10, where he hurt Keith to the body. And before he hurt him to the body, Keith was, again, outboxing him. Keith, he did use his youth in the middle rounds, and everybody's acting like, no, he didn't. He could have pressed him a little bit more in the beginning, but in the middle rounds, he was winning. And I don't care what your guys' opinion is. Say over and over again, Keith Thurman won the middle rounds, and that's period. And in my opinion, he won the later rounds besides round 10. And this is taking nothing away from Pacquiao. Keith Thurman is an undefeated champion. Okay, Pacquiao is I wouldn't say old. He's a 40, a good 40, but he's a legend in the sport. He has a ring IQ. He's seen all the styles. And he knows how to pull off wins at this stage of his career, and that's what he did. And I'm gonna play this clip real quick for Keith Thurman. But he did keep his promise.
I say that if he won tonight, and he did. I promise I say that if he won tonight. Manny Pacquiao is a truly great, legendary champion. Oh, Senator, great as ye, oh, Senator. I promise I say that if he won tonight.
And he said it right there. Keith Thurman knew he lost. His team knew he lost. And I think that after the fight, Keith Thurman was actually saying it perfectly. He admitted he should have started off better, and he gave up the beginning rounds because, he was, in my opinion, he looked a little bit nervous in the first rounds, and that's usually what happens in Pacquiao's fights. They get in there, they think that they're gonna neutralize him, time him, but his quickness comes off surprising. His awkward movement and his southpaw stance, it comes off odd. That's why you always see Pacquiao get these flash knockdowns in the beginning, early rounds. In all of his great fights, he always, surprises them in the beginning, and that's really wise because, it's awkward. It's an awkward style. It's not really easy to imitate. Keith Thurman thought it was easy, but obviously it wasn't. And to clarify before I speak anything further, again, I'm gonna say it. Pacquiao won the fight. If it was a draw, I wouldn't complain. But in my opinion, it was a draw or a win for Pacquiao. I think that the card that was for Thurman was ridiculous. I think if you were to score for Thurman, it'd maybe be by 1 point. Any more than that, it'd be pretty ridiculous. He didn't win any really of the first rounds. Possibly, I think you can make an argument for round 4. But even then, I mean, Keith Thurman, he edges out at about a draw. So, in my opinion, 114, 113 is a good score. I think that's the best score. If you really watch the fight and score it on real boxing credentials, clean, effective punching, ring generalship, all of that. I believe that, again, Pacquiao's a legend. This goes to one of maybe his top fights that he's fought. And I'm gonna say this, and again, I'm not taking anything away from him. In my view, and I've seen basically all of Pacquiao's big fights, this really wasn't maybe this really didn't look like his best performance. He didn't dominate like he did against Cotto. He didn't dominate like he did against De La Hoya. He didn't dominate like he did against Margarito. He didn't dominate like he did against Clary. He didn't dominate, like he did against plenty of fighters that he's fought in the past. And, basically won almost, like against Barrera and Morales 2 and 3. He didn't dominate like that, in my opinion. And the fact that people are acting like he's rejuvenated, I think it's not wrong, but I think it's a little bit overcooked at this point. Pacquiao he had a good performance. He had a good enough performance to beat him, but he didn't show up in the middle rounds. And against these fighters like Spence, Porter, Crawford, and let me get a list real quick of some of the top welterweights, because I can't just come off the top of the head. While I try to find out, I'm gonna play this quick clip, which actually Pacquiao talking after, and to talk about his slurred kind of speech. Again, he definitely got tagged in this fight, and you can tell by the way he's talking, and he even says he's basically as powerful as Margarito, and everyone knows that Margarito's a very powerful puncher. And let me play this real quick clip for you guys for Pacquiao talking about
the fans is very happy because of the result, although in favor of me, but I want to clap my opponent, that he's very tough. I mean, he's young. I can say he's heavy-handed, man. Not like other opponent that I faced before. This guy is he can fight. He has a lot of his journey is not in this tonight. Yep.
To me, right there, what I take from that is that Pacquiao, he feels like he got, I wouldn't say lucky, but I feel like he feels like he got a good, a little bit lenient towards him kind of decision. Again, it's rightfully so. I definitely think that Pacquiao won the fight. But you can't say he dominated. Not with the kind of performance Thurman put in the middle rounds. I really, you have to respect what kind of performance he did. He went to the body plenty. He hit him with right hands. People are expecting too much from a fighter. Most of these guys talking have never even really fought in their life in the ring, or even trained sparring, and they're acting like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. You gotta understand, fighters are fighters. This isn't a video game. See, all these people, they need to get off a fight night and actually watch real fights, and not just highlights. That's one reason why a lot of people go to UFC, because at the end of the day, boxing is a really, sweet science kind of sport. It's not knockout all the time, not knockdown. Everyone gets hurt all the time. Sometimes it's just the little things that help you win in fights. And when people talk about, oh, it's boring, just because it went the full 12 rounds doesn't mean it's a boring fight. That's boxing. If you're not into it, go watch UFC. It's a sweet science sport. It's all strategy. You're comparing UFC is a different thing. It's not just UFC, but other sports with fighting. It's boxing is just the ultimate, sporting kind of fighting. It's almost like fencing. You're countering, you're planning, and doing that all in split seconds. It takes the best to win at it. To get back to the top welterweights that Pacquiao could go against, they got Danny Garcia, and there's talks about Mikey Garcia, still fighting 147. I don't know if you can put him at the top welterweights, but I mean, he's a respectable name, get good bars. You got my fault. You have Errol Spence Jr., of course, and Terence Crawford, like I said before. Ugas. You got Ugas. I would not take that fight if I was, they could, but, it's not enough buys for me at Pacquiao at this point. Pacquiao can fight anybody he wants to. Again, I want to say that throughout this, the remainder of this video, Pacquiao can fight whoever he wants to fight, and nobody should say anything against that. He's a legend. He should go out how he wants to. If he wants to go out in Shield, let him go out in Shield and go against the top weight, and let him dare to be great. That all these people are saying, oh, blah 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 blah. If you're a fan of boxing, you should support daring to be great, and that's what he is. With this last performance, it's not like he looked completely old. He showed signs of his age, I think, but overall he won, and he won decently, and he deserves to fight anybody with that performance. He deserves to fight Sean Porter. He deserves to fight Danny Garcia. He deserves to fight all the top welterweights right now. Okay, and that's you can't change my mind about that. Now, when you get into emotional wise, or to care about the brain damage and all that with Pacquiao, then yeah, you can make an argument. But if you're talking straight boxing and love for the sport, you got to give Pacquiao a chance to dare to unify everything. Just let him dare to be great, and he can get old overnight, get dominated, knocked down, knocked out, hurt, but that's his decision. Nobody signed up for boxing to never get hurt. Everybody knows in this sport, you get hurt, you get back up, you get hurt, and you keep moving forward. Sometimes you get hurt and you retire, and that's part of the sport. Smart people like Miguel Cotto, plenty of other examples, Marvin Hagler, they retired at the right time. They retired but they still had something in them. And Cotto didn't exactly have something in him, but he retired smartly. And there's plenty of other examples where fighters retire in a good time, and they sustain their wits and their smarts. And maybe that's not Pacquiao. Maybe Pacquiao's a warrior. He's gonna go out like all the other greats that went out, passing the torch. And is that wrong? I don't think that's wrong. I think that's part of boxing. Passing the torch is part of boxing. I mean, look, the Pacquiao got it for him. He passed it on from Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya is obviously older, and he didn't look right, and he took it from him. So why shouldn't he give the right to these other fighters? And again, I'm a fan of Pacquiao. I'm a fan of boxing. I'm a fan of all fighters, basically. Some I like more than others, but I try to be objective. So you got to be objective with this. He has the belt. He should give anyone a chance, and he should fight whoever he wants to fight. Just like Mayweather, you guys shouldn't, you guys ride Mayweather about choosing he wants to fight, and I'm not saying that's wrong. You guys should give the same respects to Pacquiao. If Pacquiao wants to fight Khan and make millions of dollars, freaking let him fight Khan, man. If he wants to fight a damn UFC fighter, he has the right, because so did Mayweather. And he if he wants to make big money again, let him make big money. And for him to fight Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, I've never heard of this man right here. Kavaliauskas, some wrestler or something. Let me click on him. He's 21-0, but he's with WBO, so he's gonna be fighting probably Terrence Crawford next. Let's see. Yeah, but I don't want to get on. This isn't that kind of video. This was announced about Thurman, and yeah, I'm basically gonna end the video there. And yeah, good win by Pacquiao. He should fight anybody he wants to at this point. Maybe fight Amir Khan. In my opinion, that's a good look. And for Keith Thurman, I really think he should fight Adrian Broner after all this shit talking and all that. I think that would be a good warm up for another big fight for Thurman. It'd get a lot of pay-per-view. It'd get a lot of buys. And at the end of the day, why would I fight a nobody or fight a guy with a less level like I think Broner is to Keith Thurman? Why would Keith Thurman fight a less level guy and not get as much money when he can fight Broner, which is a less level guy? I put Broner at like maybe a B minus, maybe a C plus. probably a C plus or B minus at this point. And Keith Thurman, I think, is a strong B plus, A minus. Just like Pacquiao, I think Pacquiao's a B plus. A minus probably at this point in his division. So, Keith Thurman should fight Broner. I think Pacquiao, maybe Khan or some big fight, big money. Maybe even Mayweather. Who knows? But yeah, Pacquiao should fight anyone he wants to. And Keith Thurman, he should, get him a little warm-up fight before he fights another big guy. And yeah, you got to give Keith Thurman the respect he deserves. He did good off of a 2-year layoff, his second fight against Pacquiao. So yeah, S2H is PSD, and peace and love to the legend Pacquiao, and good fight by Thurman. All right, man.